Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'm going to be answering this question of like someone said that they started experiencing this feeling of being emotionally blunt or emotionally flat after they lost someone close to them. For some people, it could be like they lost their mom, they lost their aunt, they lost a friend, they lost a pet, and ever since that moment, or ever since the experiencing that moment of grief and loss, they can't really feel emotions. They can't feel sadness. They are not happy. They are not sad. It's like there's just this flatness. It's like having food without flavor. So why does this happen? So let's first understand the loss. And it may look harsh, but when we get attached to someone, some people may call it love, but when we get attached to someone, let's say you are attached to a pet or your friend, it simply means that it gives us some meaning, right? Yes, there's some sort of connection, but when we are detached from it now, let's say because something tragic happened, that thing is painful, right? There's a lot of emotional pain and emotional overwhelm from that, and it mostly depends on it mostly depends on how deep you are detached with them, and also how you were the state of your emotions before that loss. So if you are really attached, that loss will be so painful, and the mind, in a quest to protect you, will shut down your emotions because the mind sees this aspect as something so tragic, so horrible, that the only way to keep you safe is to shut down all the emotions or to numb all the emotions. Because by numbing all the emotions, you are able to operate, you are able to go to work, you are able to show up to eat, you are able to show up in life, you are able to just go back to the normal busy life. So the mind is trying to protect you from feeling those overwhelming emotions of grief or loss by shutting down the system. And when this system shuts down, it doesn't mean that you've overcome the grief. No, it's a temporary measure of the mind to keep you safe. Now, the next step for you is to now look for a healthy channel to process the grief. But now, what happens because of this busy life? Of because we may not have a deeper understanding of this, we end up just moving on with life. And now that being numbed out become the default mode. Like you start now operating that way. And as you keep operating in this numbed out state, it becomes now habitual. And when something becomes habitual, it becomes a bit challenging for you to just stop it because you've gotten used to it. And because the mind knows that this person is not ready to face this. That's why when you experience loss, or many people who experience loss and grief, and they are not able to process that grief in that moment, they normally just shut down. That's why you may find some people, let's say they experience someone close to them, and then they just keep quiet, they don't say anything. And then you now feel like this person does not cry. What's wrong? Is it because they are emotionally aware, or is it because they know how to take care of their emotions? No, maybe that person, maybe the mind sees that this person cannot be able to handle the emotions which will arise from this, or the pain which will arise from this. So let me just nudge this person to keep quiet and shut down completely. So it's painful sometimes. No, sometimes it's painful to lose someone who's close to you. But what's more painful is for you to experience the pain of loss which has already happened. So if you are in this state where you've lost someone and you can't seem to move on from that loss, and you can't seem to feel emotions from that loss, understand that that is a reversible state, and you can work on going deeper and doing the inner work, doing the inner unconscious work where you communicate to your unconscious mind that, hey, the loss has happened. Yes, it's painful, but I can process this pain. And by processing this pain, it doesn't mean that I'm disconnecting from the people I've lost. No, it means that I am letting go of the pain and embracing a life with them in my heart. Simply like that. Like you're not you so it gets to the point where instead of carrying that loss of someone as a burden, you carry that loss as strength to keep you moving forward. That's basically what healing is. It's like just flipping a switch like this. Instead of it bogging you down, it's now lifting you up. It's not tying you down. It's now lifting you up. And it's possible to overcome numbness, even which is caused by this kind of experiences like grief or loss. Hope that makes sense, guys. Until next time, have a wonderful evening.